All right, here we go. We are at the Canvas page in order for you to find this. So I'm just going to click under this week right here, and then you will see it load up. If I scroll down a little bit on my screen, it says MCA Test Prep, and that's where you're going to click on that link right there. That's going to take us to the MCA Test Prep. And that's going to give us these item samplers. So you may want to pause the video here to make sure everyone gets to this location. All right, and as we are going through this, we're going to go to the mathematics MCA portion of it, and we want the green button that's right here. So we're going to view the MCA item samplers. And when I click on that, now I can choose my grade. Again, pause the video to make sure everyone gets to this screen. We are in 6th grade, so that's what we are going to select. Okay, we are not doing paper item samplers, so we're not going to worry about that over here. We're going to pay attention to the online item samplers. We're going to click on grade 6, the very top one, item sampler. You notice that there are other translations that you can have for it as well. We're going to click on the top one, and then we're just waiting for my computer here to load, and it's going to load into Test Nav. Okay, so pause the video here, make sure everyone is to this screen. All right, I'm going to enter in my name here so that I can start. It's 10 questions for the first section, 10 questions for the second, 13 questions for the third section. So this is just a good practice for us today to prepare for the MCA testing. Okay, so I'm going to start section number 1. Now with this, I just want to make sure to show you a few things. We have the arrows right here. This is just going to push me forward or push me backwards depending on basically answering the question. So once I finish a section, I will no longer have the option to go forward and backwards. I can review my questions to see how I did. And then we have bookmarks. So if maybe there's just something I'm not feeling 100% confident with, then I would bookmark this part right here to just remind me to come back to it later on. All right, so I have my pointer, which is what I'm working on right now. Okay, notepad. Okay, click on this notepad right here. Pause the video, teacher, to make sure that everyone is there. And looking at this notepad, this is just a place where I can write in different things that I'm doing. What's that going to equal? Giving me different answers. Equals 48, whatever it happens to be. So I can use that. And this does not get submitted to anyone. And then I just click the X and I close it and get rid of it. Okay, the next thing is the answer eliminator, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Okay. If there's an answer that does not look correct, then I would just put that on there. If there's 2 answers that I think don't look correct, then I can do that. And it just helps me get to a 50-50 mindset. Okay? Moving along, we have the calculator, the scientific calculator. So this calculator button is only going to appear when you can actually use a calculator. On the test, you're only going to be able to use the calculator that is on the Chromebook. You cannot use your handheld calculator. So it's always nice to just be able to look at this calculator, get familiar with it, just kind of helps you to understand where the buttons are. So some big things to just notice. You have the pi button right here, which pi is used for area of a circle and circumference of a circle. Let's see, we also have a fraction bar here, and then there's the mixed number bar, percentages, you have a square root, this caret symbol, you guys are all familiar with entering that in on Canvas when you have an exponent, so you just use this for the exponent. So I think it's just good for you to familiarize yourself with it. If you notice anything that's in the green, That's where you want to hit this second button first, and then you can press that green button and it'll work with whatever you're working with. Okay. Also, I just noticed this button here to square a number. If you click right there, the green button second, and then this is going to be the square root. So if I want second and then this, now I can just type in 81 and it's going to tell me what my answer is there for the square root. Again, it's awesome if you know how to use the calculator, but I wouldn't rely on it because for some questions it's not going to give you the calculator when you want to be able to use it. Okay? All right. So moving back to my pointer, other important items to just notice is it tells us what section we are in right here at the top, and it tells us what problem number we've completed out of the total right there as well. Okay, so that's something good for us to just notice. And now what I would like for you to do is complete this item sampler, practice using the tools, and just make sure there's other things that you can do. You figure out the other things to do with it. Okay. On the side as well, I forgot to go through these, but the side we have the speech to text. So if I am struggling to be able to read it, or I just want to hear what the question is, I highlight it and I can just play the button.
Which statement is true?
And that just helps me to be able to just understand the question, because I know for myself, a lot of times when I'm reading the question, I don't necessarily always understand it. So if I listen to it, it helps me to be able to understand it a little bit better. Okay. And then you can jump back, skip ahead. Then there's just different settings with that. Exhibits. Okay, so this is something else I need to make sure to emphasize with you. If I click on the exhibits, here is your formula sheet that you are going to be given. Okay, so you notice here it gives us area formulas. Unfortunately, it does not tell us what shape those area formulas are to. Okay, so that's the part you're going to have to make sure to memorize. A rectangle or a parallelogram is always going to be base times height. A triangle is going to be half the base times the height. And then we have the trapezoid, which is going to be adding the two bases together, which we did that recently, and then multiplying by the height. And we're going to take half of that as well. Okay. Over here is kind of the key. It gives us a nice key here where it says the capital A is equal to the area. So that just means we're finding the area. B is the base. H is the height. V right here gives us a capital B. Again, it tells us over here what is that capital B. It is the area of the base. The H is going to be the height, and V stands for volume. So if you end up with a question that's asking you for volume, right here's how you find it. Okay, so a volume is going to be like a cube or a Kleenex box, right? So the base shape is going to be a rectangle. So we're going to use base times height and then take that answer and multiply by the height that is connecting the two bases of that shape. Okay? And we just finished going through how to find the angle sums of a polygon. So right here says S is your sum of the angles. N is your number of sides. So how nice is that you have those formulas there for you? Okay? All right. Now, I am done with this part of the video. So now, if you could please try these different methods, utilize it within the item sampler. Your teacher is going to give you some time to finish that item sampler and kind of work through those things and just get familiar with it. Because we want you to do your best on the MCA test, and we know this is setting yourself up for success. Good luck on your MCAs.